What would you do when a woman cut your member off? Would you run away or take revenge against her? Let's start the story when Linda feeds her boss Bradley with a toasted octopus and starts feeling sick. Linda then revealed that she's fed him an octopus that emits a toxin that blocks human nerves, and it will make him remain conscious, but his body won't be able to move. When Bradley was fully paralyzed, Linda puts her knife on the fire and takes off Bradley's pants while explaining that she is in control and Bradley needs to accept she's the boss now. She lowers the knife to his groin, making it look like she's cutting his member off. Bradley can barely move his eyes and cry in fear. Suddenly, blood splattered on his face, and then Linda pulls out a dead rat, revealing that it was only a trick to scare him, and she swears that if he makes another mistake, the next time it won't be a rat. Let's get back to the day when Linda boarded the plane alongside her coworkers, including Donovan and the company's new president, Bradley. As the aircraft prepared for takeoff, she remained focused on her work, determined to prove her worth. However, Bradley barely acknowledged her. During the flight, Donovan cruelly revealed that he had found Linda's old audition tape for a survival show, and the group mocked her relentlessly. Humiliated and hurt, Linda decided she would no longer share her solution with them. Moments later, the plane began to shake violently. A flight attendant instructed everyone to fasten their seatbelts, but Donovan and the others ignored the warning and laughed at the situation. When the turbulence worsened, chaos erupted and they were thrown across the cabin, and a fire broke out. The plane rapidly descended, and a breach in the fuselage caused a terrifying loss of pressure, sucking one of the employees out of the aircraft. As panic spread, Donovan clung to Linda, demanding her seat instead of helping her. Another coworker desperately tried to hold on to Bradley, but Bradley pushed him away without hesitation. Between life and death situation, Donovan became increasingly aggressive, even grabbing her by the throat. Acting in self-defense, she stabbed his hand with a fork, forcing him to let go. Within seconds, Bradley and another employee were pulled out of the plane. Despite losing an engine, the aircraft crash-landed in the sea. Water quickly flooded the cabin. Linda managed to free herself from her seatbelt and swam through the wreckage, narrowly escaping as the plane sank beneath the surface. She eventually reached open water, completely alone. The following morning, Linda woke up on a deserted island. After wandering for some time, she discovered that Bradley had also survived. He was unconscious and severely injured. Without hesitation, Linda began caring for him. She crafted tools from rocks, built a shelter using branches and vines, and collected water using coconut shells. When it rained that evening, she remained safe inside the shelter she had constructed. When Bradley regained consciousness, he was overwhelmed to learn that no one else had survived. Linda gave him water and continued to care for him, despite his initial discomfort and complaints. Over the next few days, she proved that she was dependable. She started a fire, caught fish, and ensured their survival. Although Bradley initially refused to eat her cooking, she forced him to accept reality. As time passed, Linda adapted quickly to island life. She hunted, built, and protected them both, while Bradley struggled to accept his dependence on her. Their dynamic began to shift. He, once arrogant and dismissive, now realized that he could not survive without her. Linda, on the other hand, grew more confident and self-assured. For the first time, she was in control. The island became a place where her abilities were not overlooked, but essential. Meanwhile, Bradley's authority and status held no meaning in this environment. Their relationship grew increasingly complicated. At times, they cooperated and even bonded, sharing personal stories and vulnerabilities. However, tension and mistrust remained beneath the surface. Bradley's desperation to regain control and return to civilization clashed with Linda's growing comfort on the island. Eventually, their fragile alliance began to break apart. Bradley attempted to escape on his own, betraying Linda by volunteering to cook for her, and Linda then eat a bad berries in the process. He ran back to the woods and immediately get the raft he made. However, the waves are big that destroy his raft and his plan failed. Linda saved him once again, though her patience had clearly worn thin. She made it clear that she was now the one in control and that he needed to accept it. As time went on, Linda's behavior became more intense and unpredictable. When a rescue opportunity finally appeared in the form of Bradley's fiancé arriving by boat, Linda made a shocking decision. Instead of helping, she allowed the rescue to fall and die, ensuring that she and Bradley remained on the island. One day, when Bradley chasing a boar, he was shocked when he discovered a human arm sticking out of the sand on the beach. As he moved closer, Bradley realized in horror that the body belonged to his fiancée. Recognizing the diamond ring on her finger, overcome with emotion, Bradley reportedly lost his temper and ran back in a panic. Unaware of what had happened, Linda saw him approaching. When he confronted her, he showed her the ring in his hand. Seeing that she could no longer hide the truth, Linda quickly claimed that everything had been an accident. However, Bradley did not believe her. As the tension between them escalated, Linda was said to have reached toward her waist. Sensing danger, Linda fled toward the woods and hid behind a large tree. Realizing she could not escape, she began to come up with a plan. Moments later, Bradley noticed a figure behind the tree. However, when he approached, he found only a pair of shoes on the ground. Linda attacked him from behind, grabbing him tightly and restricting his breathing. Bradley struggled desperately, but no matter how hard he fought, she refused to let go. Using the last of his strength, and without giving her time to react, forced her to the ground. He pushed her head into the dirt in an attempt to overpower her. At a critical moment, Linda managed to reach for a knife. By the time she cleared the dirt from her eyes, Bradley had already escaped. Injured and disoriented, Bradley ran without realizing that he was heading toward an area Linda had previously claimed was filled with toxic fog. Observing this, Linda stopped chasing him and turned back. After passing through the woods, Bradley found himself unharmed. As he searched for a way out, he was shocked to discover a luxurious villa on a cliff. Filled with hope, Bradley rushed toward the villa and called out for help, but no one responded. He entered the house and turned on the lights, searching for anyone inside. The refrigerator was stocked with modern drinks, and he quickly grabbed some water to rehydrate. At that moment, Linda's voice came through the speakers. Bradley then realized that the so-called toxic area had been a lie. Linda admitted that they could have been rescued long ago, but she had chosen otherwise. Hearing this, Bradley felt a chill run through him. He continued searching the dark villa, but could not find her. Eventually, Linda revealed herself. It was then discovered that she had already armed herself with a shotgun. Seeing this, Bradley reportedly dropped to his knees and begged for mercy. He claimed that he was willing to stay and continue their life together, even insisting that he had fallen in love with her. Linda, whose thoughts were consumed by her emotions, hesitated. However, Bradley took the opportunity and immediately attacked her. Reacting quickly, she reached for a nearby object to defend herself. By that time, Bradley had already grabbed the shotgun. In a twist of irony, it turned out that the gun was not loaded. Linda was once again spared. This time, she did not hesitate. In the end, Linda emerged as the sole survivor after a brutal confrontation. A year later, she was celebrated as a survivor and success story. The world believed she had endured the island alone. She published a book about her experience, gaining fame and admiration, now living a life of success and recognition, while the truth of what really happened remained hidden.